Kaitlyn Bristowe reflects on past addiction, suicidal thoughts. Bachelorette Kaitlyn Bristowe went to social media to share a sentimental story along with a dark period in her life. She revealed hitting rock bottom in her late 20s. Along with hitting an all-time low, Kaitlyn was facing an addiction and also losing her will to live. What is she sharing now? Keep reading to find out all the details. Kaitlyn Bristowe looks back hitting rock bottom. Former Bachelorette Kaitlyn Bristowe was feeling emotional on a recent flight and shared a sentimental photo and the purpose behind it. She went to Instagram to share. The photo showed her holding a Care Bear close to her. Above the photo she wrote, "I'm so glad I'm here." Her lengthy caption explained why this bear is so important to her. In doing so, she also shared how she hit rock bottom. She was recently in Mexico, and when she saw the bear on her bed, it compelled her to share her story for those who may not know it. Kaitlyn began by saying, "I had no money, no job, no education, no home, no credit. I had lost myself and got dumped by someone I thought I'd marry. I relied on him emotionally and financially. I also had never processed the death of a best friend. I had to move in with my mom and Rob when I was 27, and there I got addicted to Valium. The DER gave me a suicide assessment. I didn't want to live. I wanted to numb myself and not wake up. I was full of shame." She went on to share that her stepdad got her the Care Bear, and she slept with it every single night. Her mom would help her by playing YouTube videos while she slept as a way to help her heal. Through it all, her family reminded her that she was loved. However, she selfishly didn't believe it mattered. She began her therapy journey. Kaitlyn Bristowe revealed that she started her therapy journey shortly after this time. She said therapy and the love of her family saved her life. 12 years later, she still sleeps with her bear every time she's at home with them too. Kaitlyn went on to share that it is something as simple as a Care Bear that reminds her how she fought hard to get her life back. She said, "Something as simple as a little Care Bear now reminds me of my fight to get my life back, how many baby steps it took, and how things will always get better." The Bachelorette went on to say that she's grateful for where she is in life now. She also said the bear is like an anchor. In sharing it all, Kaitlyn wants those going through a hard time to find themselves an anchor. Things will get better, and she reiterated that she's happy she's here. In the comment section, Kaitlyn shared that her best friends were there for her as well. Even her ex showed her a lot of grace. Through it all, she's thankful she has her friends, family, and all her digital friends as well. What do you think of Kaitlyn's reflection on the rough times she endured in her late 20s? Can you relate? Stay tuned for more updates on all your Bachelor Nation favorites. Jamie is a nurse and a mom of boys whose true passion is writing. She loves reality, cooking, and paranormal TV. Jamie has been writing online for several years. Kaitlyn Bristowe reflects on past addiction, suicidal thoughts. Kaitlyn Bristowe sat on the plush couch of her Nashville home, her hands wrapped around a steaming mug of tea. The soft glow of the afternoon sun filtered through the curtains, casting a golden hue over her peaceful space. It was hard to believe that just a few years ago, her world had felt like anything but peaceful. In an intimate and emotional conversation, Kaitlyn decided to speak her truth, a truth she had long kept hidden beneath a carefully curated image of strength, humor, and confidence. For years, the former Bachelorette had been known for her vivacious personality, quick wit, and infectious laughter. But behind the dazzling smile and her undeniable success, there was a deeper battle she had fought, one that few people truly understood. The silent struggle. "I always felt this pressure to be on all the time," Kaitlyn admitted, her voice soft yet firm. "People saw me as this fun-loving, fearless woman, and I didn't want to disappoint them. But there were moments when I was completely crumbling inside." Growing up in Leduc, Alberta, Kaitlyn had been a fiercely ambitious and driven young woman. She pursued dance and entertainment, eventually making her way into the public eye through reality television. When she became the Bachelorette in 2015, it seemed like she had everything: fame, love, and a platform that could make a difference. But as the cameras faded and the fairy tale romance crumbled, reality hit her harder than she ever anticipated. The expectations of fame became overwhelming. The criticism, the cyberbullying, and the endless scrutiny chipped away at being judged for my looks, my personality, my choices. It felt like I could never win, and slowly, I started believing the things people were saying about me. The descent into addiction. At first, the drinking was social: casual glasses of wine with friends, celebratory champagne at events. But soon, alcohol became a coping mechanism. It numbed the noise, Kaitlyn confessed. When I drank, I didn't have to think about the pain, the pressure, or the loneliness. It gave me temporary relief, but it was never real peace. The problem deepened when she turned to prescription medication to help with anxiety. I remember one night feeling like I just wanted to sleep for days. I took more than I should have, just hoping to quiet my mind. Her friends started noticing the change. She became withdrawn, canceling plans and retreating into herself. Some tried to reach out, but Kaitlyn wasn't ready to admit she was spiraling. I kept telling myself, I have this under control. I'm just going through a rough patch. But deep down, I knew I was lying to myself. The darkest night. The breaking point came one evening when Kaitlyn found herself sitting on her bathroom floor, tears streaming down her face. The weight of exhaustion, self-doubt, and hopelessness had never felt heavier. I was done. I was tired. I didn't see a way forward, she revealed. It was in that moment, as she stared at the prescription bottle in her hand, that a thought flickered through her mind. What if this was it? What if I just let go? The thought terrified her. Through the haze of pain, she reached for her phone and sent a text to a close friend. I don't think I can do this anymore. Within minutes, her phone rang, and her friend's panicked voice on the other end of the line snapped her out of the fog. Hearing the fear in their voice made me realize that if I went through with it, I wouldn't just be ending my pain. I'd be transferring it to the people who loved me. The road to healing. The next day, Kaitlyn reached out for help. She sought therapy, confiding in professionals who helped her navigate the storm that had taken over her mind. She also leaned into journaling, meditation, and self-care practices that slowly started to rebuild her sense of self. Therapy saved me, she said without hesitation. For the first time, I allowed myself to be completely vulnerable, to admit that I wasn't okay, and that was the most powerful thing I could do. Kaitlyn also found solace in movement. Dance, which had always been a passion of hers, became a form of healing. I started dancing again, not for a show, not for an audience, but just for me. It reminded me of who I was before the world tried to tell me who I should be. Speaking out and breaking the stigma. As she gained strength, Kaitlyn realized she wanted to use her story to help others. I know what it feels like to be in that dark place, to think that you're alone, to believe that there's no way out. But I also know that healing is possible, and I want people to know they're not alone. She began speaking openly about her struggles with mental health and addiction, using her platform to raise awareness. If I can help even one person feel seen, if I can encourage someone to reach out for help, then sharing my story is worth it. The response was overwhelming. Messages poured in from fans who had faced similar battles, thanking her for her honesty. It made me realize how many people suffer in silence. We put so much pressure on ourselves to appear strong, but true strength comes from admitting when we need help. Finding light in the darkness. Today, Kaitlyn continues to prioritize her mental well-being. She surrounds herself with supportive friends and family, practices mindfulness, and makes conscious choices to maintain a healthy relationship with herself. Healing isn't linear. There are still tough days, but now I know I have the tools to get through them. Looking back, she doesn't shy away from acknowledging her past. Instead, she embraces it as part of her journey. Every struggle, every dark moment, led me to where I am today. And if I can turn my pain into purpose, then none of it was in vain. For anyone out there struggling, Kaitlyn has a message. Please, don't suffer in silence. You are loved, you are worthy, and you are not alone.